What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Bell Outright Occult Gaming. And today we are continuing our journey into Darksiders II Deathinitive Edition. And today we are continuing our journey through this dungeon that we left off yesterday. And if you guys couldn't already tell, this is post commentary, as our likely every episode of this series will be post commentary due to all the trouble I was having with the last series. And last time in this very room we fought an enemy called Garn, I guess you would call it, or Garn. And that enemy was a construct, kind of like a mini boss. And that won't be the last we see of that particular enemy type. So keep your eyes peeled for that enemy. And we're just going to go ahead and continue forward so that we can get whatever treasures we can find here, as well as get the fire flowing down to the forge. So right here I'm engaging in one of my favorite pastimes, breaking vases for guilt and random items. In this particular hallway I had pretty good RNG. I was getting gold in like every one of these pots. I don't think I have guilt chance equipped. I just got lucky there. Just exploring the room, and what do you know? There's a treasure in the coffin. Or as this series calls them, coffins. Even though it looks nothing like a coffin. It looks like a coffer, maybe. Not coffin. And here I'm just checking the gear I got, which is a very good tactic. I recommend every so often just take a look at all your gear and see if you got anything better than what you currently have equipped. And once you get to the point where your inventory is like kind of cluttered, then you might want to start selling stuff off or feeding it to your possessed item, possessed weapon. This is an important step in getting our fire flowing down the mountain. Yeah, we've uncovered the fire. So I'm actually not sure exactly what that did, because now it's gonna actually flow down all the way to where Alia is in Stonevale, I think it's called. So I don't know why lifting that made that appear, but here's a boatman's coin. That's the best way to get that, is to just jump off of there. And here we got another coffer. I recommend you get all these coffers, or coffin is what they call them. I recommend you get all of them because there's really no reason to come back to these dungeons. Unless you're just paranoid that you might have forgot some secrets. But if you feel pretty confident you collected everything, just you know, open all the treasure chests too, so that you don't have to come back. It's pretty interesting architecture, and I'm just taking a look at what's there and trying to see if I can see down there. And what it looks like happened is it looks like the lava actually drained from that pool. So maybe that's how it starts flowing. We might have drained it. But it wasn't particularly clear in that cutscene. And we got Karen here.
The mountain has a voice. How did you... No, doesn't matter. You have done what I failed to do. You must take the good news to Alya as soon as you can.
In the last episode, we found his special dish.
I found that dish you wanted.
You're a good man. Much more so than your name would imply. I'm in your debt.
Alright, and that's going to be your best bet for leveling up, is completing as many side missions as you possibly can. And of course we get a skill point for leveling up. So they do tell us again about fast travel, which is you know, really useful. But I think for these first couple of parts you're better off just you know, just traveling through it. Oh, there looks like there's a achievement for using fast travel for the first time. What I don't think I completely explained something last episode though. What was it? Oh, it was a submission structure in this game.
I saw the fire spreading from here, horseman. Tell me, any eyebrows left under that mask?
And here I'm just talking to everybody to see if they have any updated dialogue after completing that quest, main quest. And actually around this time is a pretty decent time to fight Thane once you got some better weapons than what you came here with. Thane's not entirely too difficult. It just takes a while to do damage to him if you're using default starter weapons. And here I'm just looking at the next level of Exhume. Looks like I maxed that out, which isn't a bad idea. But I think getting the explosion is probably the best thing you could possibly do. But yeah, as far as the quest system in here goes, it does make death feel like any ordinary NPC.
Horseman, the fire of the mountain flows again.
Yes, freed by my hand. And Carn's.
Karn? That pup? He hasn't a clue. And yet, the forge burns once more. You know what awaits you, Ryder. To finish this, you must restore the tears.
I'm not your errand boy.
See, even he references it.
Aye, but our fates are now yoked. Help us, and we will help you. In the meantime, take this. It might be of use.
Now pay attention to this. This gun is Redemption, a powerful pistol belonging to Death's brother Strife. Now how does this maker have this?
Now this pistol. It belongs to my brother Strife. How came it here?
I cannot say, but there are other goods you may barter for now as well. Restore the tears.
Pay
then
attention to
return
that
me.
once we get to Darksiders
You
3.
said there were two things that powered your forge, fire and tears.
Yes, fire to wake the earth and tears to calm it. Both gifts of the Stone Father.
Fire will not be enough.
Nay, we require both.
Where might I find the tears of the mountain?
To the west, past the fjord and into the Drench Fort, you will find the tears within. Valis has been busy. There are new items.
And this is where you could buy, you know, weapons, better weapons, and things like that. Green is like slightly above common. Blue is rare. purple is ultra rare or legendary, whatever you want to say. Or I think orange is legendary and purple is ultra rare. I forget exactly how they classify it, but it goes white, green, blue, purple, orange. And possessed weapons are red. So yeah, when it comes to and those like yellow items, there are just story weapons or story items or special items. They're not rare, like rare drops, but they are unique. I guess you can call them unique weapons and unique items, like that pauldron I had, as well as a couple of those weapons I had were actually unique. And actually, some, depending on the level and the rarity of it, whatever you feed the weapon will give different amounts of experience points. And that skull there indicates that I've done one level of it, and it has a max of 5 levels you can level it up with. So mine started off at level 2, so I could get it up to about level 7 before it stops being able to upgrade. But yeah, I wanted you guys to pay attention to that, the fact that we got that pistol from Alia. Once we get to Darksiders, there's some connections with that scene we just saw.
Surprised you've gone that far.
Yeah, this is a great time to challenge Thing, like I said before. We're doing decent damage. And he can't one-shot us. And we also have a decent rapid. It's not level 1, it can do decent damage. Thane himself isn't very difficult. He telegraphs everything.
Come on, show me what you.
So if you just want to do this fight without it being super duper annoying, I recommend just as you're coming out of the place with the fire of the mob, which I believe is called the Cauldron. The place we just left. There we go, Reaper form. You don't even have to take him down all the way, you just have to get him to about a quarter of his HP. The unstoppable Reaper form allows death to inflict and sustain huge amounts of damage, kill enemies with Reaper attacks. Something.
You can get the uglier. Well, a battle won should never go unrewarded. You got lucky. Mayhaps I am too old to do this.
Age isn't everything.
So, you can fight an old warrior, but to earn your name, you'll have to do better than that.
Once you beat him,
Bathir, Echidna, Argyll, these are what we make.
Once you beat him, he gives you.
You kill them all, and mayhaps I will grant you are the true Reaper.
Sounds like
He
a
gives you
challenge.
these hunts or bounties.
What of Gorwood?
Once, Gorwood was a friend to my people.
Then why seek my aid?
Corruption has taken our forest, and Gorwood is a being of that old wood. Where one goes,
Gorwood
so
is actually
goes the
nearby.
other. Gorwood is filthy with corruption. He must be put down.
Even I know the name Echidna. Why do you seek her death?
An old debt, forged before your time.
All know the shadow realm of Echidna. Why do you not travel there and kill her?
I have tried, only to find her realm in chaos. The Spider Lords had bathed her throne in blood, and Echidna was nowhere in sight. I spent years following her trail to the realm of the dead. Then, all this happened. I returned home to my people, and left old debts unpaid.
Tell me about Argyll.
Ah, a madman, a beast in need of killing. I had sight on the deed myself, when the current Lord of Bones rose up and defeated the Mad King of the Undead.
Then Argyll is no more.
My bones have always told me otherwise. The old king lives. I'm sure of it.
If I'm to be your executioner, I would hear more of those that I'm to kill.
I will tell you what I know.
Where can I find Beathir?
Beathir and her kind once ranged across the Forge lands, hunting us like cattle as we made this world our home. One by one, we hunted down and slayed the fell beasts. But Beathir, she made herself a deep burrow, and slithers out only to feed. I only know that she's a beast of fire and smoke, and that she's made her lair beneath the earth.
Now I wish I did record this live, because I did want to kind of go into each of those hunts in more detail, but because there's so many of them in such a short period of time, I'm not able to really go into it like I really want to. But anyway, each of those hunts are actually the lore actually matters with those hunts.
You might want to stretch before you try that one.
It looks like we did level up, but each of those hunts are actually in areas in the world, each of the worlds. So you can use what he just kind of explained to you to help track them down. Gorewood is here, and I actually recommend taking all the hunts at once, like as soon as you're able to.
I still don't know what the tears are, Maker.
Then listen well. Long ago, the Creator formed a mountain, the Stone Father. For eons, that mountain towered over the abyss. From the mountain's depths flowed raging fire, and from its peaks, pure water. Where the two met, the mountain grew, and from that came the first world, the Maker's realm.
The tears belong to this mountain, then?
Aye, and still we forge as the Stone Father did. With his fire and tears, we can build nothing without them. Ride fast, Death. My realm. Teach us.
Now, two of those hunts can be found here in this world, but other hunts you'll have to wait till later in the game to actually pursue.
What was old is new again.
And there I was just saying if she had any updated dialogue. But you can buy interesting talismans for her, which have typically the talismans will have a execute skill on them, which if you want to put that on your possessed weapon, that's the perfect way of doing it. You just want to purchase the talisman first, and that the execute ability gives you, it's typically execute chance, or it'll be health on execute or wrath on execute. Those can typically be found on talismans. Alright, so we're going to the second area of this world, second main area, which is the Drench Fort. So you can think of the map here as one half fire, one half water, and then in the middle is a big, well, in the middle is this area, but also a big, what would you call that? A big, a ruin, a big ruin just north of the Stonevale. And since we got our gun now, we can actually access this destination.
We tried to seal in the corruption, but no good came of it.
It's odd how I often find you standing.
Without the Tree of Life Horseman, I'm trapped here just like you. A fortunate few slipped out before the tree was lost, like Ulthane.
And who is
You all know who
Ulthane?
Ulthane is.
He's just another maker. Has a big hammer is all. When he escaped, I feared to follow. And a good thing, too.
And why is that?
Well, you might still be looking for the cauldron if not for my courage and wit.
What can you tell me about the Tears of the Mountain?
The Drench Fort lies just beyond this barrier. It was the first thing taken by corruption. We sealed the Stonefather's tears inside, fearing what would happen if they spread.
If I do as Alia asks, you'll soon find out.
Aye, and the realm will be better for it. Whether pure as rain or black as sin, the tears will end this stalemate. If you're really going, don't let me stop you. Exploring's a wondrous thing. You never know what you might find. For instance, should a bit of armor turn up, it's likely some I misplaced some years back. If you can find it, I'll be in your debt.
And like all other makers, he is skilled in the forge. Even though he seems like a warrior adventure type, he's also skilled from the forge because that's what makers seems like maybe a natural thing for them. But I actually have to kind of
Run along, Ryder. I'll rest a bit.
I gotta correct something I said earlier. When I said you can go in either direction here, it looks like this direction was sealed off until you beat the cauldron area, completed that area. So this, we have to wait to get here until after we get the pistol, which we can only get from Alia after we complete the cauldron. So not as open-ended as I thought I remembered it being. Oh, this here, this arm, that stone structure there was the arm of an NPC we're gonna meet. So keep that in mind. And if you saw one of those earlier on the other side of the map, keep the location of all those stone looking structures. Alright, and we are definitely getting stronger because we got the more than due from these I forget what these are called, stingers. Yeah, stinger. So now we can take that back to Karen, or we can wait. But I recommend taking that back to Karen right now, so that you can get the last ingredient. And unlike the first Darksiders, the Mercy from Darksiders 1, the pistol here actually has ammo. It has about 10 shots before you have to reload it. And I believe it takes about maybe 5 or so seconds to reload. There isn't like a reload button either, it's just kind of, you have to wait for it to, it's more of a cooldown than a reload. Then the bullets come back one by one before you can use them again. If you use all the bullets, there's a bit of a cooldown like with the horse. But if you use only a few of the bullets, the bullets will come back one by one. Alright, and right here I'm going back to Karen. And there's that structure there. As you can see, it looks like a hand. And we'll have to find 4 of those later on. Unfortunately, we can't do it now.
What of carven stone?
That's what we call the Stone of Construct Sentinels, to be specific. A sad thing destroying what a maker worked so hard to craft. But these days it must be done. You'll find the Construct Sentinels you need in the Lost Temple. Good luck to you.
And the Lost Temple is going to be north of the Stone Veil. Or possibly south of it. exactly which direction. And we actually haven't fought the Sentinels yet. The Construct Sentinels. The Construct Sentinels will be found. They look like masks, basically. And as you can see, just traveling outside of this area will spawn all the enemies again. So in this game, unlike the first one, you always have a full area of enemies to fight at any time, as long as you reload the area. And that was actually one of the problems I found with Darksiders 1. Some of the achievements in that game required you to kill like a bunch of enemies or get a lot of miles on the horse. And it just wasn't a lot of opportunity to do that because towards the end of the game, enemies are sparse. So this game definitely fixed that, and they fixed another issue I had with lack of content because this one had a challenge arena, unlike the first one. Which that first one really needed some DLC. Too bad it came before DLC was like super duper popular. Alright, under here we'll find some secret items. I believe we'll find a boatman's coin. And anytime you find a body of water, you'll likely find a boatman's coin somewhere. If not here, on the other side. There it is. And the swimming controls in this game are pretty smooth. Right here I got a bit discombobulated. But up there is, behind me is an optional dungeon you can go into. It's one that's not too difficult. Just a couple of puzzles in there. I actually don't know why they nerfed the pistol. The pistol... Well, actually I do know why they nerfed it. Because in this game, the pistol generates wrath. And it generates a fairly nice amount of wrath. So, I just thought about that for a second. The difference between this one and the first one. And no, it does make sense why they nerfed it. You get a fairly substantial amount of wrath just for getting some shots with that pistol in. In about 6 shots, I believe you can just about refill it enough to get the boatman's coin. In about 6 or 7 shots, you can refill it enough to get another use of a wrath ability. Here is the ford. Or the ford. That's the cool thing I like about Exhumed is that the summoning caskets actually cause a knockup. And it looks like I'm tripping because I did not use 2 levels worth of points here. So you're better off going with Fiery Souls and then the one right after that, the Explosion, whenever you can. As soon as you can get those, go for those because that's where your damage is going to come from. Alright, and I'm strong enough to use the Dark Avenger. which is a level 5. This gives extra defense and has knockback power. And the pauldron is level 5 and it has a lot of nice abilities on it. So again, just keep an eye on your equipment when you can use it. And just every so often go to your inventory like I'm doing here and switch to something stronger. It'll really make the harder difficulties more bearable. Alright, as you can see there is a stone that we cannot currently shoot. But right over here is an NPC who will allow us to shoot those.
Oh, hello, fleshling. Didn't see you there.
I was going to ask who you are, or rather what.
My name is Blackroot, and I am hungry.
For what exactly?
Only the finest stones. I have ways of attracting such morsels, but it has been centuries since any were in reach. I must wait here for my master. I will starve if someone doesn't help me.
Your people stand on the brink of destruction, and you ask me to feed you?
If it isn't too much trouble, take this. It will guide the stone to you, so you can bring it to me. Then I shall eat it with great pleasure, and I will reward you.
Unfortunately, they should let you get these stones before you meet
Not
this
your
guy.
master.
Of him I do not speak, nor do I remember. He left eons ago. Now I am trapped here.
How long have you been here?
I have been gathering my strength for centuries, and my roots run deep. That is my problem.
You eat?
I am not like other constructs. In my form, life has taken root. It must be fed, or it will consume me.
And though Blackroot's a little shady, you can trust good old Blackroot. The Lure Stone. The Lure Stone pairs itself with any struck environment stone, drawing them to its owner's location. Shoot an enchantment stone with redemption to awaken it. The Lure Stone will do the rest. And that's pretty much what you just saw. You shoot the stone up there, then it just travels to death. They gave like an in-game explanation for that particular, the way that works. And this is kind of tricky because these over there look like stones, but they aren't stones. I wish they didn't do that. But you'll find stones in more than just this area. They'll be all over. They'll be in other areas as well.
I have to go alone.
That's the best way to get that Bolden's coin. Alright, and the fjord is a pretty cool area. There's a lot of secrets here. There is a lot of wide open space. But I think that pretty much helps the area. I think they space the enemies out fairly well here, so that it's not just space for no reason. And it's like ample opportunities to fight enemies and to level up and to get experience, I should say. Because some people will say that like this area is too big, it's too open-ended. But I feel it's just right for this, for what Darksiders II is. It's like just right. Because you'll want to have space between different groups of enemies on the harder difficulties. Because these stalkers are definitely troublesome. And so are the prowlers. Prowlers are also pretty darn troublesome. The prowlers, if they gang up on you and if they use certain attacks, they can stun lock you and do a lot of damage. I believe that was a talisman I picked up. That's why I made that sound. And there you saw an execution. And you're seeing a nice mixture of the combat here. Wrath abilities combined with Scythe, combined with fist strikes. That's what I love about this combat system. It is so dynamic and so utterly customizable. And the cool thing about the weapons is that they transition. Like the combos are there's like a plethora of combos that allow you to transition between one weapon to another. Like you'll see in the middle of some of my combos, I'll be doing like 2 scythe strikes, then he'll immediately switch to the fist, and then he'll switch back to the scythe. There's the combos are pretty freeform. Like whatever you can think of, you can probably do it with all the tools you have here. And then it grows even more complex once you add different tools to the combat. So right now all I have is the gun, but pretty soon I'm going to get an object that allows me to traverse the overworld. And you can actually you know, you can add that type of stuff to combat too. And even your horse, like your horse is its own special type of combat. You can, you know, you can start your combos with the scythe, throw the horse in there, and I think when you summon the horse it'll pop them up. No, you can get real creative with the combat in this game. And right there, I was having an issue with the elevation. If you're on an elevated plane, it appears that you cannot do execution on the enemy. So I had to get him to my level. Similar to like the Dark Souls parry riposte. I know on I think in the original Dark Souls you couldn't do that on the stairs. So it's very similar to that issue. Well, yeah, the combat in this game feels like a natural step forward from Darksiders 1. Darksiders War Master. It's like satisfying in all the ways you'd expect. And they pretty much just kind of add more weapon types to it. You see these guys, they're like 2 levels lower than me. They're still hitting me pretty hard. You can't take any of these enemies lightly just yet. But it is an RPG, so eventually you can out-level them and you get a ton more defense, ton more HP, and there will be nothing. The game is a true RPG, and the enemies don't necessarily level up with you. Sometimes they do. But for the most part, I think these enemies here will always be this low level. And right there, I'm trolling around on the horse, but I don't believe there's any horse achievements in this game. Like the first one, which is hilarious because you get your horse right away in this game. Unlike Darksiders 1. there's far more areas to actually ride your horse in this game compared to the first one. I don't think there's any horse achievements. We're just taking advantage of that stalker, and you can actually see here how much wrath you get back for shooting your gun. So it looks like I embellished a bit before, but in about maybe 14 shots from that gun, you can get about half of your wrath gauge back. So a volley of 7 shots gets you back about a quarter of your wrath gauge, which is pretty good. And if you could just continuously do that, I guess you could break the game. So I do understand now why you can't, why they limited the number of shots.
This is no place for a horse.
That's pretty much the game's catchphrase. This is no place for a horse. Got our boatman's coin. And over here you'll find a ton of secrets. I believe you can actually start exploring this area. But for our purposes, we're actually gonna wait. And don't just leave this area without swimming around over here, because you'll find 2 secret areas over here. That area over there, looks like we're going here first. So this area houses Volgrim as well as
I have new items, if you have the coin.
this area has Volgrim as well as some portal puzzles. And we don't have a portal gun just yet. So those of you who watched my Darksiders Let's Play will remember we actually got a portal gun towards the end of the game. In this game, we can see that death gets one in kind. So, gotta wait till we get that, so just keep that in your memory banks, and we will be back to this point. But right now we can't do anything here, so we'll go over to this other secret area where we'll find a silent construct. But at the current moment, I don't believe we do anything with this construct.
Something's missing.
Yep. And this is another mission. Silent Stone, find a way to reactivate the silent construct.
I have to go alone.
So 2 things to keep in mind on this side path here. 2 secrets. And we know we'll be back. So instead of wasting our time over here, we'll go ahead and press on. Going towards our main destination, which is the Drench Fort. And even here, there's just a ton of stuff to do. Yep, there's another strange rocky looking pile of rocks. And if you remember what I said earlier, that's something we'll have to return. So that arm, as well as the arm we saw earlier, and you guys might have seen a leg before, like a stone leg, that goes to that construct we just left, that silent construct. And before we can get those to return to him, we have to actually wake him back up and talk to him. So this mission's getting very, very complex. This is a great way to pull enemies. And the necromancy is a great way of distracting enemies. So you got just two great tools, like right off the bat at your disposal, with the pistol and the exhume. And really, this particular setup here forms the basis of my whole strategy for the harder difficulties in the game. There are times where you don't want to be in the enemy's face, so you want to use your pistol to build wrath and use exhume to do your damage and distract the enemy while you come in and you take a few hits from behind. If you got a really good setup, you'll have like a fast hitting weapon that steals HP. And you will have maybe another setup that increases the amount of damage that your wrath abilities do. And the Drenched Fort is... I forget if this is the path. No, it looks like it's not. This isn't the path for the Drenched Fort.
No place for a horse.
This leads to an area I can't really fully explore yet. Yeah. This area requires an ability I don't currently have. But we will get the treasure chest here. Oh, I'm sorry. The coffins. Alright, so we instead need to go the other way, which is around here and through the little valley. Alright, and we are at the Drenched Fort. Ow. And that statue actually looked just like the shaman. Yeah, this area is definitely gorgeous. But you can see the shaman there. And the shaman's actually the character I was telling you guys about in my Darksiders 1 playthrough. That was on those maker doors. I don't think I mentioned it yet in this playthrough. Right, level 6. There it is. That's a talisman that gives me health on execute for wrath abilities, and very useful. And that specifically gives me 124 HP every time I get an execution kill. So you just want to keep in mind with your playstyle, what's the best abilities for you. You can kind of go through the game with certain abilities the whole way, depending on your setup with possessed weapons and, you know, the items and weapons you buy. I do recommend anything with health steal though. And that was actually another possessed weapon we just picked up. I think that was a pair of possessed gauntlets or something like that. Oh, actually not. What the hell was that then? It was something red. And it looks like I was, at the time I was playing, I was confused too. Like, what the hell? Where did the possessed thing go? It might have fell through the stage. Alright, but we press through. And there is a very simple puzzle. Non-volatile shadow bombs must be shot in order to explode. Simple enough. Throw it. Shoot it. And we have what we need to proceed. So just a heads up guys, we are nearing the end of the episode. We aren't gonna full on explore the Drenched Fort today because it did take us quite a bit to get here. But we will appreciate the beauty of this place. You know, it's like destroyed, but it is gorgeous. And we can just take some time to appreciate the view before we end things. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by, watching the video. Really hope you guys are enjoying the series. Please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. Take care guys. Till next time, peace.